Hey, Clyde, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. We got our whole crew here, and we will get started first with Jesse Newell with the Kansas City Star. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Clyde, I just wanted to ask what this offseason's been like for you and why you decided to join the Chiefs again.
Man, honestly, this off season has been it's been nice. I've been kind of finishing some stuff with wedding planning and my fiance. Been able to kind of do some stuff around my yard, a lot of fishing, tree cutting, stuff like that, a lot of maintenance, and really just being able to look back at a lot of things, have conversations just across, actually becoming a free agent. It was a different experience at first, and then just being able to kind of hear, kind of ping pong some things off different people, ping pong different situations, think about what possibly could be your future, and then you make the best decision for you. So obviously that was that decision was to come back home to the Chiefs and keep things going in a direction that was trending in a positive direction.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey Clyde, wondering, there was a video that showed you pretty emotional after the Super Bowl that we saw, about a month or so ago. I wonder if you could, besides just winning the Super Bowl itself, what led to those emotions for you?
Oh man, I mean it was obviously kind of the obvious experience of not being in the game to the prior year. I even seen a couple tweets about that, and that's kind of just hitting the nail on the head. Just the things that I did prior to the game last year, being able to work back for some things, being able to get back practice for the Super Bowl, and kind of not necessarily know, but feel like you have that chance to dress, and just have that opportunity not given to you right before the game, and then everything comes back full swing, and you have the year where you get actually called up certain games, make plays, do those things that show kind of my resiliency and who I am as a person. And I really didn't bat an eye towards a lot of things. The only thing I wanted to do was play football, and those things. When I did get the opportunity to play football, it showcased, and it propelled us in situations that kind of got us on that right direction. Just like the New England game, being able to kind of, everything just kind of felt like we were in a muggy situation. But from that point, it's just kind of like, we started to excel, and that's why I'm here.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Clyde, congratulations on the deal, man.
Thank you so much.
I got two questions for you. First, you mentioned the free agent process. What was it like going through that? And ultimately, what you call KC home? What made you want to stay in Kansas City?
Man, just the free agency process at first. Initially, I wouldn't necessarily say it's slow, but it's different. I mean, it's something like I never experienced that. It's not like high school recruiting. It's not like college. It's not. It's a completely different outtake on things. You're able to reach out if you want to. They're able to reach out. But I really just took the time to uh, enjoy winning the Super Bowl, and then you start getting little hits here and there from my agent. Obviously, just who's showing interest, the amount of teams. You start getting like little details on things that could have possibly happened during the season, or who were possibly looking at you. So you start looking at different situations, and then as a football player and a guy of the game, you start to you look at things. You look at draft. You look at how can I be used in this offense or the same offense, or being additional to guys in a room, or guys who I would compliment. So in addition, like I said, that's just one of those things that I felt like this was the best place to kind of continue the role that I was going. Like I said, at the point last year, it was trending in the upward direction, showing the things that I needed to showcase in order to be the player that I felt, like that I was when I got drafted. So it's just one of those growing pains of the league. Going on year 5, still 24 years old, and you know, um, to answer your second question, KC literally is home. I left Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I was born and raised, and drafted to the middle of the country. Everybody was telling me it was the best place on earth, and the only thing I could do was embrace it. I was doing the thing that I love. playing football, and grew the most in these last 5 years. Got engaged, actually figured out what life is, buying homes, helping my mom with things, helping my parents. It's just somewhere that I feel like I became a man. I was 20 years old leaving college, not really knowing what was going on. And, prior to that, I was still just a Baton Rouge, Louisiana kid at LSU, just doing the thing I want to do, was play football. And then before you know it, snap of a finger, I was moving, 12 hours away from home. So this is literally my next spot, and it's home, and I want to continue that. Still could do the things that I love, ride four-wheelers, hunt, fish. It's kind of like that second sportsman paradise for me. And, it's even better that, I'm here doing the thing that I love, and it's playing ball.
You have so much joy when you're talking about Kansas City being home, and obviously your teammates and coaches have always talked about just your attitudes and infectious and always positive. But you mentioned the tweets, and sometimes Chiefs fans have been hard on you. How do you kind of reconcile that?
Man, it's just one of those things that you understand that everybody's passionate about the things that they love and the things that they watch. And a lot of it is pure emotion. I've said things, did things out of emotion at times of passion. And when you're looking at the screen or looking at, even nowadays, it's bets and the things that just go on with sports that's trending. I would say that's trending in the right direction, that helps us in a positive light. With that, it's kind of like heat of passion with a lot of things. They're all into it, and I'm not a real internet guy, so I mean, tweets come about, see whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not things that you feel or that you see, but it's my profession. It's not like I'm not working on those things to do the right thing. I want to touch the ball touch the ball and score every single time I can, and I know if it's Pat throwing the ball or if it's a receiver catching the ball, we want to do the things that's 100% right every time. And it's the love, it's the actual beauty of the game that you don't really know what's going to happen, but you kind of take those punches, roll with it. It builds armor, and it lets you know that the fans in KC really really mean well, but it keeps you on your toes in order to keep things rolling, like winning Super Bowls. It's no mediocre thing. I'm not a shying away or shy of championships. Always kind of been on championship teams, and when I'm not in a championship, I'm usually very close. So it's just that thing that I carry on my shoulder that I want to continue to do and be around championship team and championship staff.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go Pete and then Adam. Go ahead, Pete.
Brad, I'll have one more if you don't mind. Clyde, congratulations, like everyone has kind of said here. Going into this year, with the decline of the option, it did seem like there might have been some writing on the wall that this could be your last year. And I was wondering, did you feel that way kind of going into it? And if so, when did that maybe change for you? You said to yourself, maybe I could be back here next year.
Man, you really just look at things and call it a spade, where a lot of things, like, obviously I wasn't the starter. Picking up a 5th-year option, for a guy who was, in rotation, and, just looking at the number, looking at things, looking at cap space, you as a football guy and a player, you kind of see those things, and some people call it the writing on the wall, and you got to call it the actual sport that we're playing. That's the same way, Pat was doing ever to, at some point he knew he was gonna have to rearrange some things in order to get guys around that we feel like, we would need in order to win a Super Bowl. So, numbers are numbers. Things change, obviously change from, 2019 numbers to 2020 to all the way going into, 23, 24. So, I was fortunate enough. I'm a first round pick. Like I said, I was being able to, have a second spot called home. And, a lot of those times, man, just being around football and seeing it, you don't want to say the 5th-year options are rare, but it's not one of those things that you see like, oh, I know that's an automatic thing that's always going to happen. Right. So I knew I was getting an opportunity to continue to play. That 4th year wasn't like I was getting cut. It was a next year's contract, which would have been this year. But I just knew I was, unless I knew as long as I got the chance to put on a helmet, put on pads, I was going to have that opportunity to be able to showcase what I needed in order to do to be back on this team.
Yeah, and you mentioned those 2 starts late in the season. I was curious with them, and particularly the New England game and the screen. How big was maybe that play, that game, for you to sort of reinstill confidence that, you know, I do have not that you were doubting, but I do have a strong role in this team?
Yeah, man, the big thing about that game and the big thing about, you know, just I'll say that play, just going into it, I would say our offense was kind of in a stuttering position, and I felt like even during the game, everything was just kind of just like that stagnant. Like, man, the Chiefs really need to figure out who the hell they want to be and who they are. And man, just I feel like I tested myself. I've been in those hard games. I've been in situations, and I'm not the type to bat an eye. Some people, you know, I'm emotional about a lot of things, and then but like when I get in those situations, I'm just so blank faced and just straightforward and knowing that the things that I want to do are things that I want to get done. I visualize it and I know, okay, this is things that we need to do in order to get my team up and rolling and get my guys, you know, there. And if, you know, having that start, and if I had to be that spark in that situation, I knew if it wasn't one play, it had to be multiple. And that's when I felt like I had that game in order to start stacking those things. And then from that point on, it just like, it was a never ending cycle. It was an avalanche, and we just kept rolling with those things. Everybody seen that we can catch the ball. Everybody seen that we can run the screens. Everybody seen that we can do those things in order to win the game in pressure moments and pressure situations, no matter the team, no matter the arena, the area. So I feel like that was one of those things that we needed. And yeah, I'll say it was a semi spark for me in those things of knowing, just get back to who you are. And always just be yourself. I wasn't just like on my high horse knowing like, okay, you'll finally get your opportunity to start. Just go out there and be Clyde.
We'll go last to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Clyde, you said a minute ago that you kind of looked around a little bit in free agency, but ultimately decided this was the best place for you. What made this the best place for you to continue your career? What factors went into that decision for you?
Man, I would say honestly, my teammates were one of the biggest. Like I say, with growth, being here the last 4 years, kind of understanding the offense that I've been in, having Pat kind of lead me in the direction of the things that he sees from a quarterback standpoint. And I've said in multiple interviews, having Travis, he's, you know, personal level from football to just on a day-to-day basis. He's someone that's been in my corner and then picked me up from my lowest of lows. And then when I was on my highest of highs, has been there, you know, trying to put a rocket on my back. So you just have that camaraderie. And then just from upstairs on down, you kind of get those things of obviously I'll be one of the vets in the room, being still on the younger side. I've been in the same offense 5 years. I kind of know those things that Pat will want, Pat would adjust to, and it's a good thing being able to kind of echo those things or being able to spread the word or keep the things going that we know as a vet, and pass that to receivers or pass that to the running backs. Like I remember just one of those, a game at the end of the year, giving Sky a signal when Pat wanted to rock and roll him on a go ball, he ended up scoring. So it's just those things that just being a vet in the room, seeing those things, seeing the little things that might not happen all the time, happen, making those things. I just knew this was the perfect place for me to not only become a 3-time Super Bowl champion, but continue the legacy of the Chiefs and continue the things that I'm doing as a player.
So we have one more, Clyde. I'm sorry, Blair. One more quick one.
Yeah, Clyde. Hey, just want to know where it stands with nursing school.
So I took this spring semester. I just got to ask this question. I took the spring semester off. I was planning this wedding and doing some things like that, and then I mean, a lot of people say it's a lot, but once football season kind of comes about, my schedule is so like nice and put together that I'm able to know exactly when I'm going to, you know, have classes and be home to, you know, write essays and do those things. It's just the off season. I never really knew like how I move around. Might be fishing, might be hunting. It's just those things. I don't want to miss deadlines and things, but I'm probably, as far as my nursing program and having to do clinicals and all that, I'm probably like 2 years on paper out, just based off on how many classes and things that I take, how many hours I want to take, and what'll be my load. So it's trending in the right direction. I think I finished with I got 9 hours. So I finished with like a 3.3 this past semester. So it wasn't too bad, it wasn't too shabby. It was winning a Super Bowl, so I got distracted a little bit.
Clyde, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
All righty, thank y'all.
See you soon.